Hi, welcome to the second installment of Manifested Mercy's videos. We exist to assist those, Manifested Mercy does, those that are incarcerated, both pre, during, and after, both for them and their families. We also exist to assist those in recovery, dealing with addictions, and we also exist to help those that are being victimized or have been victimized. And a point to that to help understand why it is important for people in recovery and people that have used criminal thinking and have dealt with incarceration to give back. And so, therefore, part of that is assisting those to remove themselves from a victim place in their life, a victim stance. So, that's what Manifested Mercy is and does. We're located in the Alton, Illinois area. Our first video, very specifically, was the first point that we try to address, which is safe housing and the importance of that. And you can find that both on the Facebook Manifested Mercy page, as well as on under Manifested Mercy in YouTube. Eventually, they will be on the Manifested Mercy website. They'll all be downloaded and available for anyone that want to peruse them. Each of these is about 10 minutes long, but can be expanded to an hour long if there's ever a need for a seminar or providing counsel. We can expand it to include a lot of other points. So each of these are there to basically assist anyone that might be looking to do these. So today, the second point is gainful employment. It's the second point that we want to help people provide assistance with, and there are reasons for that, and we'll get into that. So the first thing I wanted to talk about today, as far as the need for gainful employment, is about where to look. A lot of times I hear people say, I just can't find a job. And if you've never heard of what's known as ban the box, the best way to explain that is that most applications, both online and written, have a box that asks, have you ever committed a crime, a felony, done time? Some of them are 7 years, and some of them are just ever. And there are a lot of companies out there, and if you look in the archives on the Manifested Mercy Facebook page, we do have a listing of a lot of companies that are supporting the ban the box, which is about not asking that question at the time of an application. That's something that can be done both in a background search by human resources as well as in an interview and questioning process once a person is offered a job. So, where to look? I've written 5 things down that we have found tend to be helpful. The first one I've written is temp agencies. Some temp agencies will not work with people with incarcerated backgrounds or past, specifically felonies, but even in some cases misdemeanors. However, that's not the case for all of them, and it's worth going and getting your name on a list because you never know when some temporary work could be there. By the way, if you are one of these people that can't find a job because of a background or past, you take the first job that's offered, and then you look for a better one. There is no job beneath you. So that's important. So where to look? First, temp agencies. Second place I recommend is warehouses. Many warehouses will hire people and give them chances to work in the warehouse. So great place to look. Here in the Alton, Illinois area, we have in Wood River, Illinois, just south of us, several very large warehouse complexes. And some of them will hire people with felonies and backgrounds. The third is you can check with mom and pop restaurants. Now, chain restaurants tend to have online registration, online applications. But most mom and pop restaurants that are limited to only several stores, if not just one, will have you fill out a manual application. So mom and pop restaurants, working in the kitchen, busboy, prep work, or dishwashing, or cleaning are all options that many places will hire, and including, I know of several that will allow people to become assistant cooks, if not head cooks, with time and experience. Another place is car washes. Many car washes, and I know one very particular one, will hire people to give them jobs, give them chances. So another place, and the fifth one I had listed now was gas stations, auto bodies, and repairs. Many places that work on vehicles are great places to learn a trade and or apply a trade to where you can get a job. Okay, so that's where to look. The next point I want to talk about today was how to look. You might wonder what this means. Well, if you're really serious about getting gainful employment and serious about not going back to prison or going back to your addictive or criminal thinking ways, then there's two things that I recommend. First of all, pick 5 days. That could be from Sunday to Thursday, Monday to Friday, or Tuesday to Saturday. Use 4 of those days where you will hit the bricks. You will get on the road and you will go do at least 3 live application interview face-to-face a day. So over a period of 4 days, that's 12. On the 5th day, that is online work. And the online work, I would recommend doing at least 10. You certainly can. Recognize that many of the online ones are going to have that box, but you still should be doing them and filling them out. So add 10 more, that's 22. So let's just average that out to say you get 20 a week done. Over a month, which all months have 4 weeks, that's 80 a month. Now, we believe in the power of 10. 1 of every 10 will probably give you a call back. If you've done 80, that means 8 will give you a call back. So we're close enough to 10, then of those 8, chances are 1 of them is going to offer you a job. So that means in a month's time, you should get at least 1 job offer. And that's the power of 10. And you can do research on employment statistics, and they will tell you that that's a legit number. So that's how to look. The third point is what to share. Now, this is important. When you go to interviews and when you're filling out applications, it's important that you just give the basics. However, you cannot hold back important information. So, for instance, when you are going through the actual process of the interview, this is where you need to fill out that you have had a background or past. During the interview, you're going to get asked, and this is where you need to share with them specifically what it is you've had an issue with. It could be that you are in recovery, have done detox, rehab, and sober living. It could be that you've committed a crime and did time for it. You need to share that. You need to get past the stigma. Yeah, but if I share it, they won't hire me. You're right, they might not. And we need to get employers past that. But for you, if you are the one going to look for the job, you need to be in that process upfront about it. Okay, now, if you had contacted Manifest in Mercy and I had reached out to somebody to see about getting you an interview, they're already knowing in advance that you're coming in with a background or past, and that'll make it easier. However, that's not always the case, not when you're doing the legwork yourself. However, and this is extremely important, the only people that need to know that information are the hiring manager, your boss, and human resource. Outside of that, no one needs to know. It's no one else's business. And the more that know, the more likely it is you could have problems. People that don't like you for what you did. Now, it's not you, it's they don't like what you did. But nobody seems to be able to, at first, recognize the difference between the two. Manifest in Mercy, we believe you are more in the choices you've made. However, many people don't see it that way. They will see you as the murderer, the sex offender, the drug addict, the burglar, the thief, the wife beater. Those things don't just go away because people haven't been educated the difference between what you do and who you are. The fourth thing I wanted to bring up today quickly was resumes. When you're filling out a resume, you need to blast your skills and experience, and that includes jobs you did in prison, and that also potentially includes what you did that was your crime. So, for instance, if you were a drug dealer, then you recognize sales, and you were probably good enough at sales that you were a good people person who was able to work with people to provide them product that they were interested in. That is a skill, and you have to learn how to turn that around into a position where you might be working with a client, might be able to sell a product to somebody. This is also an opportunity where you can talk about how life is precious, and you have learned, based upon the time that you lost if you were incarcerated, how important that time is. Life is precious, and you want to make something of it, which includes potentially making money. And so, life is precious. Finally, the last thing is why. Why is gainful employment important? And maybe this is the most important thing. If I were to speak to a group of people, I would talk about why this is important that people get gainful employment. So I have 5 reasons here. There are more than this. But the 5 that are best and that really reach out, first of all, the money. You will have expenses, bills, in some cases back child support. In some cases, you owe money through probation, parole. You need money. Money, unfortunately, in this society exists. You need it. Secondly, busyness. It keeps you busy. If you are doing a legit job, you're less likely to have the time to commit the former crimes or addictions that you were a part of. Third, there are requirements. If you are under probation parole, you are required to be searching for or having a job. You cannot just sit around. The fourth one is self-esteem. It feels good to know you're a productive member of society, that you're doing something that's making a difference. And finally, the fifth is it's a resume builder. Like I said, take the first job that's offered, look for the next one. That job becomes a resume builder. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. Feel free to send messages to us at Manifested Mercy on Facebook, and there is a website, www.manifestedmercy.com, though that's not entirely active at this stage. I'd recommend the Facebook page. Remember, you are loved and you are more than the choices you made. Thank you.